So let's move on to the next part, designing our character. On the back side of the sheet, we're going to try just simple forms and shapes to come up with sort of the overall silhouette of our character. So just draw simple blobs, triangular blob maybe, or maybe something rounder like this, maybe a bit on the top, or I don't know, maybe something more square and broad, that. And you can imagine any of these characters as you start to put limbs on them. What they might look like, how they might behave. So start thinking about that simple form that defines your character, maybe. They're long and slender. But it's important to keep your character very simple. You don't want a ton of complex internal lines. You want the audience to be able to see the character quickly and easily and understand who they are. I'm just trying out all sorts of different shapes until I find something that I think would be fun to animate. And you can literally just do strange shapes like this, thinking about the overall silhouette. For example, this character here, it's just sort of a block of shape like this. This character is sort of a rounder shape like that. This character is sort of triangular like that. I'm going to flip over, and I think I'll develop, I like this lanky character. He's kind of interesting, so I'm going to develop it a little further. Let's see. And you'll notice I'm not troubling to erase any of these lines. If I have a line somewhere where I don't want it, I just draw a darker line where I do want it. Part of the reason for this is in animation, classical animation like this, we would normally do very loose, very rough drawings, and then come back later with a new piece of paper over top and do what's called a cleanup drawing. And so we don't trouble ourselves to sort of animate or design in really tight, specific ways. Save that for the cleanup drawing later. Don't want a ton of lines on this character because it slows things down animating it. But you know what? I'm liking this. I'm liking this sort of form that he gets narrower towards the top. Let's see. Yeah, I think. So half, half. Start to see where those warm-up exercises, drawing those straight lines, comes in handy. Here's my design for my character. I'm going to give him a little lick of hair that's off center, two little eyes, round balls for hands, round balls for feet like that. I'll give him a wider belt here, just darkening down these lines. Sort of a big gap between his legs, skinnier little arms. This is going to become my model sheet, the thing that I use to guide me in drawing my character. And then I'm going to draw him from the side. There we go. There's the character that I'm going to use. So this is going to be my model sheet that I use for the next pieces of the animation. I'm going to practice just drawing him in different poses. His upper half is about the same size and length as his lower half. His head is about half that height again. So I'm going to draw him from behind. Looking down at something puzzled and maybe draw what he looks like when he's standing with his feet closer together. Drew his butt a little low there. Now on the character design, they would do cleaned line drawings of this character. But I'm just doing a very rough design first. And I'll maybe draw him crouched down. His hair kind of goes like that. Nose like that. Okay. So now that we've got our character design, we're happy with it. We're going to call this our model sheet. Whenever I'm animating a character, I'm going to have a model sheet here that I refer to so that whatever I'm drawing on my page, I can look back at this and pay attention to the proportions, the dimensions of my character, and make sure that I stay consistent on model, because in most animated productions, there are multiple animators working on the same characters. They all need to have their work look consistent. So drawing on model is really important. Solid drawing, one of the principles of animation, specifically talks about that. So we're going to take our warm-up sheet and our model sheet and just set that aside. And don't worry if your character isn't perfect or if it doesn't have a ton of detail. You want to keep something fairly simple, something that's going to be easy to animate quickly.